Okay, this is the fifth time I'm trying to start this. I'm recording the screen recorder right now. I'm starting fifth time and it doesn't let me go in, so we'll see. If it doesn't let me go in, I'm just gonna record it right now on the screen recorder and then just upload it to YouTube. Let's try one more time. Okay, it will leave me access now. Let's see. Okay, so it says unable to start live video. I don't know what that means, but check your settings and try again. You know, this is the fifth time now, so I'm just gonna have to record it right now and just share it in YouTube. Sorry about this, you guys. I wanted to do it live, but something is happening. But today, the day is almost over, like 11. What time is it? 11:12. So no, I'm gonna run out of time. So never mind that. Let me put the thing I want to share today. Today I'm talking about this. All right. We're looking at DALET today, which is the picture for the door. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm recording it and I'm recording the screen, so I want to share with everybody on Facebook. But this time I have to upload it to YouTube because for some reason I cannot go live on Facebook. And this is my fifth time trying, so we'll still saw what happened at the beginning. In any event, let me stop this part here. I'm keeping going. And let me close this. All right. And I was doing what Brian told me to put it in the white screen so it, will not be buffering that much. But even like that, I started 2 times like that and it wouldn't take it. So I don't know what's going on with the program right now. In any event, let me get out of this and we're going to get to the nitty-gritty today. We're going to, first of all, open here for the reading for today because we're thinking about the DALET. And we go to the sword. So that's, I believe it's the 4th day, 8 verses from verse 25 to 32. Those are the ones we're going to read today. So, let me get it here. All right. Alright, so Psalm 119, and we're going to verses 25 here. Verse 25 we're starting, and all the way to verse 32. Alright, that's what we're going to be doing the reading today. But before the reading, I want to sing a song. I hope I don't wake up my neighbors. It's kind of late right now, but we'll try to sing here. Let me get to today's. Alright. Today's folder, I have everything in here. Let me put down the ones. Okay, we're going to be looking at this thing today, so I'm going to have it ready. Alright. And also, we'll be looking at this Hebrew chart. I'll have that ready. Alright, and then we'll go also, the song for the day says Heaven on Earth. Alright, I think it's behind this. Okay. And that's what we're going to do right now. Sing this one right now. Alright, very well. Okay, so we're doing it. Let me see. Let me get it out here. All right. So Psalm 121, verses 1 to 2, in God's Word translation, it says, I look up toward the mountains. When can I find help? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. All right. So I made this song to make us understand that everything that this physical world the environment of the physical world, from the heaven to the earth, the sun, the trees, and everything, for the care of this body of flesh. All of that is nothing but a PowerPoint to what we need to be, to the bar that is inside of us. So all this external world was given a heaven and an earth and a sunshine and everything, all right? So that this flesh will be provided with 300,000 edible plants. You talk about variety, my man. Variety that feeds you all the way through. That's variety of food. Even you eat like 4 different fruits every day, will not be enough for the whole year, You take a few years to sample all the goodies. But we have been deprived of that. So that's why we're sick as we are. Or people, get as deficient as they are. So they're sick in life to begin with. So, so the thing is, so everything that this environment is to our body, that's what our soul needs to be to the Word. Okay, so this environment, we had nothing to do with the creation of the sun or the moon or the stars or the heaven or the earth or nothing like that, or the plants or the animals or the insects or anything like that. The whole system, the whole industry was a work of God's hands, a perfect harmony of symbiotic relationship with everything, and the environment knows what it's doing, directed and orchestrated by the hand and mindset of God. So we didn't have to worry about the care of this body. No worry whatsoever. Everything, the right climate was there. Everything was perfect. All right, so it was a perfect heaven. Okay, so for the body or flesh, nothing else needed to be added. But where we needed to have began to be formed was in the soul as he was receiving the word. We were only listening. We're supposed to have continued to listen. Hear, O Israel. That's always starts with there. Shema Israel. Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Because it was starting with hearing at the beginning, and then the soul was going to be developed into this compiler, like a computer language, that was going to sustain all the words that he was going to take care of. Then when God deposited his administration, we will know how to take care of that administration, We were like the desktop tower, like the strong tower, like a computer, if you please, made for God to put everything in us. And once everything was in us, then we were going to be a heaven to that word, an earth to that heaven, in the sense that the function of heaven, in heaven you have the air that feeds you 24/7, and so it restores and refreshes and renews us on a 24/7, second by second basis. So we were supposed to do that to the world, keep it refreshed and renew in us, and everything that we did in our bodies is to reinforce that order that is within us, and so that's what we're supposed to be to the world, keep it refreshed, renew, and restore. So God gave us an example that what he had done for our physical body, that's what our soul was going to become for the care of the bar. So you understand that that's an amazing task. So that's why I made this song. The heaven and earth, shows us what the Dabar in us enables us to be to the word. We are a heaven to the word. We are our earth to the word. It means that the earth, the function of the earth is to replenish, to supply the trees and to replenish the earth with everything. So we replenish the earth with all the Dabar, with all the Torah, all the understanding of the mindset of God. So we have the function. So God is all about revealing the function, and our soul can inherit all the functions, that is needed to spread the word and to keep it strong, for the sake of the souls to inherit that. And so that's what this song, I'm going to sing it to you. Let's see if you like it here. You may trust a mountain cause it's tall, get into the bar, it's mild and all. I'm not bound to look at what you see, for in the bar I am now made free. Heaven and whom God has made, now tell me to see the boy in me display that meant me to. Heaven and whom God has made, now tell me to see the boy in me display that magnitude. Though a brown please you not convince, get into the bar. Elohim complete. Why should I look at what others see when it's the heart without fashion free? Heaven and whom God has made, now tell me to see that the born in me display their magnitude. Heaven and whom God has made, now tell me see that the born in me display their magnitude. You may trust the mountain because it's tall, yet it's little more. It's mild and hard. I'm now bound to look at what you see, for in little more I am now made free. Heaven and earth, whom God has made, now tell me see that the born in me display that magnitude. Heaven and earth, whom God has made, now tell me see that the born in me display that magnitude. Though I brand to please you, not compete, yet in the one Elohim complete. Why should I look at what others see when it's little more when our fashions made? Heaven and whom God has made, now tell me to see that the born in me display that magnitude. Heaven and whom God has made, now tell me to see that the born in me display their magnitude. All right. Now we get it on that one. Okay. Now, let me see here. Let me show you what we're talking about. All right. So I put the things we're going to be using there. And also, let me sing the one from yesterday too. I'm getting used to that because we're talking about, having a heaven on earth. And that's when you memorize the Torah and you know the nitty-gritty of every meaning behind the word. That's what you become. For this earth, you become a heaven on earth. Okay? Because we were made, to know the strong tower. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are safe. You know what a strong tower is, right? That's the Aleph Bet. The strong is the head of an ox for strong, and tower is a house. So a strong tower. So it's telling you the name of the Lord is the Father, the strong tower, the alphabet that I'm trying to teach you. So the whole idea, like I was sharing yesterday, all nations, they begin life with little kids that go to kindergarten and the first grade, and they say, we're going to teach you the alphabet. That means all nations in the world say they want to teach you the Father, because that's what the alphabet means. It's a Father. But yet they never deliver. And that's the sad thing. So I am teaching you the Hebrew alphabet, which means the Father, and all I'm going to talk to you is about the character of the Father. The Father that is the strong, provider, that has the house full of everything. And therefore he dedicates the career, to teach all his children that mindset, Even those that come from the Christian background, you understand that Jesus did not come to take you to heaven, right? You understand that. That's not his main goal. What he says, when he describes himself as this, when he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, nobody goes to heaven. No, he said, nobody coming to the Father, because he was teaching you the alphabet too, the Hebrew language. And so he was taking you to the Father, the mindset of the Father. No one can come to the Father but by me. Once you know the Torah and you know the way, you bring people to the mindset of the Father. Okay, and that's the main thing. So once we have the mindset of the Father, we are a heaven on earth. You understand? That's what we become. Because everything where God is present, that place is a heaven. So if we inherit and we take the mindset of the Father, we are a heaven on earth. So let me see which song it says. Let everything that have breath praise the Lord. Let everything that have breath praise the Lord. Let everything that have breath, let everything that have breath, oh, let everything that have breath praise the Lord. Let everything that have breath praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything that have breath praise the Lord. Let everything that have breath, let everything that have breath, oh, let everything that have breath praise the Lord. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord, who's the head above all. Praise ye the Lord. 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 Oh, let everything that have breath praise the Lord. Let everything that have breath praise the Lord. Let everything that have breath, let everything that have breath, oh, let everything that have breath praise the Lord. And sing it out. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord, who the head above all. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord. Praise Adonai. Praise Adonai. Praise Adonai. Praise ye the Lord. All right, so we'll sing some more of those two songs, because that's what we want to get the mindset of the Father, like all the ones that are good students of the Torah do. They want to get you into the alphabet. That's why all countries promise you, right? You go to Silver School and they promise you that they were going to give you the Father, the mindset of the Father, because they say they're going to teach you the alphabet. But then you use that language to disfigure the character of the Father, because you don't learn anything about the Father. And that was the main goal, to learn everything about the Father, okay? So we walk away from that, and then we lost the purpose for which we were made. So let me take you to the sword of the Lord for today. We're going to read, therefore, Psalm 119, verse 25. All right. It says DALET. Okay, that's the word for today. The letter for today, DALET. It says, "My soul cleaveth unto the dust. Quicken thou me according to thy word. I have declared my ways, and thou heardest me. Teach me thy statutes. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts. So shall I talk of thy wondrous works. My soul melted for heaviness. Strengthen thou me according unto thy word. Remove from me the way of lying, and grant me thy law graciously." That freely, because it's so precious you cannot buy it. He has to freely give it to you because you don't have any money to be able to purchase it. But he is so merciful and with so much love and kindness that he gives it to us. If that's all we want, he definitely opens up our understanding for that. It says, "I have chosen the way of truth. Thy judgment have I laid before me. I have stuck unto thy testimonies, O Lord. Put me not to shame." And the verse 32, says, "I will run the way of thy commandments when thou shalt enlarge my heart." So the way of thy commandments you're going to learn. Teach me thy truth, Okay, so all of that is talking about, so that we be able to have that ability to represent what the DALET is. We declare unto the Lord, that without his understanding, we just going to cleave unto the dust. This world, and what is in this world guiding the retarded garden, which is all the products of the dust, is what's going to take over our mindset, and we're just going to live for the production of a product or service in this world, not knowing, wasting the use of the alphabet that was supposed to give us the inheritance of the mindset of the Father, and that's completely stripped away from us. That's how the education of the retarded economies, of this garden of retarded garden, where the leaders are retarded and they deprive us of the 300,000 access to those edible plants, so we only get 200. All of that, so we are in a very confined space. If you think about it, we have so much freedom and so much variety. We are in the mindset of God. We learn a lot of things because we just inclined to just learn because we want to keep the order of things. All right. So that's the main thing. So my soul cleaveth unto the dust. Quicken thou me according to thy word. So bring me to life according to thy word, according to thy dabar. Dabar, which means according to thy word. And the dabar, that's what we're talking. And that's why he put the dabar in that first verse, because dalet is the beginning of the bar, which means for administration, for management, or for a system, or for a governance. It's the gate. All of that means that. So he puts the word dabar there in that first verse, Quicken me according to the bar. I have declared my ways unto thou, and thou heardest me. Teach me thy statutes. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts. So shall I talk of thy wondrous works. My soul melted for heaviness. Strengthen thou me according unto thy word. Every day the bar is there, the word of the bar. Remove from me the way of lying, and grant me thy law graciously. I have chosen the way of truth. Thy judgments have I laid before me. I have stuck unto thy testimonies. I have adhered myself to it. I'm chewing on it. O Lord, put me not to shame. I will run the way of thy commandments when thou shalt enlarge my heart. The heart stands for lev. It's lamed and vav. And lamed means the teachings or guidelines, and vav is the connectedness. So the word heart, lev, which in Hebrew lev is heart, it means the guidelines connectedness. That's what the heart does. It's like a CPU that connects everything, to everything in the computer. It's the heart of it. So from there it connects everything. So the whole idea to connect the word the right way, so we get into the mindset of the Father. You understand? All right. So let me get away from this and let me take you to see what we're looking at here now. All right. So we're going to go to the discussion what we were talking about, because every day I'm going to be going over this one. It's very important that you understand what I'm referring to when I'm talking to this one here. All right, let me see. Okay. So let me put it smaller here so we can do it a little bit like this. Yeah. That way I can zoom in and out. Perfect. This is better. All right, so here we are. Okay, so as I'm going over and over every day with this, so you get familiar with the meaning of each of the letters. So then you yourself will be able to use them also, in your daily life. But this is part of the learning. We repeat the things, and so today we have gone from Aleph, Bet, Gimel yesterday, which is a career, profession. And today we're looking at Dalet, which starts for the door or an entrance. It's to have access, to be able to move in life, you're able to maneuver yourself through life. So you have access. And also the door is also for gate. And gate in the Bible is administration. So to me, a system is an administration also. So the word system goes in there as well. Everything that has to do with management, all of that, management, governance, administration, all of that is the gate. Okay? So the thing is, we understand the different things. You understand even, for example, Bill Gates. The name Gates just means a couple of gates, and Bill comes from William. And William, the name William, I believe, is a resolute defender. It's a resolute defender. So his name, William Gates or Bill Gates, means resolute defender of administrations or governments. So he works for the governments of this retarded garden. And he's a resolute defender of them. He offers them all kinds of deals. Won't surprise me if, because the parents come from the Planned Parenthood and they have killed so many babies that he has something to do with the distribution of the androchrome, that drug that the elite uses. But in any case, that's just guessing there. But in any case, he does. That's the name. It's a resolute defender of the administrations or governance. And that's what he obviously been doing. That's what he's doing now, but for the sake of the retarded garden. But I'm here, as my name David means the one that connects, David, which means my name David. I have my name David, which is my second name. David means the Dalet, has a Vav. My name David has the Dalet, and he has a Vav and a Dalet. So my name means the administration of the connectedness of governance, or the administration of the connectedness of also. My name is that I'm equipped to do this as well. So I'm equipped. I have two gates. I have a gate at the beginning and at the end of my name. So I have two gates also in my name. It's like, so you can say that the work of the Bill Gates, he's the one that has, because Gates is plural, that means two gates or more. So he's got two Dalets in his name because this Gates is plural, and he's connecting governments, for the evil scheme of controlling everybody, with the cashless currency and all that stuff, and scaring everybody so they can take the vaccination, all that stuff to lead the way to the cashless society. So in a way, he's the David of the retarded garden. Okay, that's connecting them, But I'm the David of the true garden, the one that gives you the mindset of the Father, okay, and that allows you to be above this retarded garden and see for what it stands, So that's the thing, is when you have a point of reference, and that is when you know the Father of the original creation of wholesomeness, or the resilient garden of life that knows how to reproduce, and then you have a point of reference, then you see at everything else that man has made, and you can call it what it is, a retarded garden in comparison. That's why everything in this world, no matter how technologically advanced it is, it doesn't surprise me, because it's not as good and resilient as the garden that God has created has ever been, and still continues to be, just that we walk in the ignorance of it. But I have a point of reference. Most people that don't have that point of reference, they are in awe of this retarded garden and of all the things he has achieved. And when they see it crumbling right now, they all get shaky, like those people that do sense making. I hear those people on TV, do the sense making, like this guy named Daniel Schmachtenberger. He talks a lot about that in Wisdom Rebellion. I don't know if you've seen that channel, but I see it a lot. And these people at this point, they don't know what to make of it, because they have always, these are people that have made money, and now they try to form a group that will define, what we should do if society begins to crumble. But they themselves don't have the answer right now because they didn't have a point of reference to start with. But I've been in the Torah and I have a point of reference, so these things do not scare me. So I look at this whole world and I laugh at it. To me it's like I'm in this situation when everybody's trembling, but I look at it as like when I was a kid. One of the things that I think was great for me to enjoy was to go to the circus. Whenever the circus was in town, big deal. I wanted to be there every day because in the circus you got to see the animals, you got to see the clowns, and then you got to see all the misfits. You know what I'm saying? The lady with the beard, the people that had skin like an elephant. You got to see all kinds of misfits in there. So it was very interesting, curious place to go, entertain yourself as a kid. And so that's what I consider, this retarded garden to be. It's like a circus to me. You go see all the leaders of the retarded garden. To me, all of them are misfits, compared to Elohim and his guidelines, all of them, what they have to say and the way they recommend, the care for what we're going through right now is a vaccine. We were not born vaccine deficient. We were born for a garden of 300,000 edible plants, and if that garden is not given to us, we are deficient of the garden. And that's the garden of longevity, the resilient garden. So we're deficient of the original garden. Now, we're not vaccine deficient at all. None of us were made for the need to have a vaccine. But that's what the misfits in this garden. That's what all these people to me. So that is a big circus to me. And they claim to be scientists, and then one of the misfits does not have even a degree as a doctor or anything, and they look at him, and everybody just looking at him thinking that he's got something to say. To me, they can talk to my hand. They can talk to my hand as far as I'm concerned. They're only misfits in this garden. So this is not only a retarded garden, but to me it's a circus. So I'm in heaven in my situation because God has me looking at a circus every day. That's why I have a laugh every day. I laugh like crazy looking at all you guys. And you guys are brutal with your meme, by the way. I salute you with it. You're down to the core, telling it the truth as it is. I know some people might not be able to handle it, but to me it's, hey, you tell things as the way they are. I mean, these people claim to be something and they are something else. You have to expose them. And that's the whole fun of this thing, By their own fruits you shall know them. So I know what you do. They claim with their mouth that they're this and that, and then you present their fruit of their labor. So that's the contest thing that that's what happens, and so they fall by their own fruits, because by their own fruit you shall know them, and that's what we happen to. I see with your memes, so I appreciate all those brutal, down to earth memes. I really have a good laugh with those things. So like I say, I'm in a circus, with all these misfits, all the retarded leaders of this retarded garden. So it's a very interesting situation. You can have fun with it, You cannot let it get to you, because really none of these things were not the reason for what we were made. Our true inheritance, our heritage is the mindset of the Father. And that's the reason why we learn the alphabet. Okay? So then those people, those people that are able to keep the mindset of the administration, because I'm going to read the whole thing to you again, the meaning behind each letter. I'm going to read it this time so, so we can get a better grasp of what it's saying. So, from the alphabet to the thing. I'm just going to read the whole thing. What it stands for is for us to keep the meaningfulness of everything. So we have the mindset of the Father, right? Close this here. And so it says, to have meaningfulness, and to keep the wholesome word, we need, to keep the fortifying house or blueprint for the career of administering the displayed activation of the connectedness of the cultivation of words that safeguard the distribution of the task of handling the approved guidelines of, the solutions that generate or propagate protection or support for the watcher's proclamation of the journey of mankind's desire. And I took some time explaining to you, because this is what we really get to know in this world, that we desire this and we desire that. And if our desires do not, line up with God's desires, then that's when we get depressed, because, when the desires are not fulfilled, he said, desire that is fulfilled is a tree of life. That's in the in the sacred book. So when your desires are thwarted, are not fulfilled, that's how you get sick. You get depressed and you get all, because your desires are not met. So that's why you line up the desires with the desires of your maker, and then your desires are always fulfilled because they match his. And God is never disappointed the way things are going. Things are being running according to his plan. He knows how to take care of the retarded garden and how to give them their due desert for the way that they behave according to their works, and so this is the whole thing. And then what it says, this is from dawn until dusk and forevermore. This is our main and foremost pressing goal, objective, agenda, agreement, and commitment. So this is what this whole thing says. And it ends up with the cross or with the annex where you sign for the contract. That's why I'm talking commitment. And goal, objective, agenda, agreement, and commitment. This whole thing represents tab. There's a whole word for that. And shin is the pressing. It's what's pressing, what's more important. So I've used the word pressing. And resh, this is our main and foremost. This represents resh. And kuf represents this from dawn until dusk and forevermore. That's the representation of kuf. So there you guys, you see. So I'm going to be repeating this over and over so you're familiar with this. So the people that are trusted with the care of the whole world are the people that are true, to keeping an administration safe. The dabar means the administration, right? So the people that are true to that, to the administration of the economy, and they want to keep that because that's what dabar means. We were made to, to do the administration of the economy. So those that are true to that and keep it, intact, given to them the way it was presented to them, those are the ones trusted to run the world. Okay? And so right now, the one that is trusted to run almost everything in the world right now, is the computer. Because the computer, that's what it does. The computer is like a strong tower. It's like a desktop. You see I used to have a very large, tall desktop tower. They call it a desktop tower because it's a tower, and there in-house is a house, inside of it, you house all the information. You have the entrance. So, so when you have a strong tower or a desktop tower, then you have the career of running what? The system. DALET is for system, right? And the system of activating, of animating, and connecting. The connecting, the cultivation of all the programs that are there, and provide a defense, right? There's a defense. You provide a firewall, and that inside of the computer you distribute. The computer distributes all the information, and it does the work of passing all that is approved instructions and guidelines, of the program, and provides solutions, for the generation of protecting and supporting the programs that are being observed there for the journey of what is there to be done, in the instructions of the program. So all of that, this whole thing applies to all scenarios. That's why, to me, what has taught me the most about the Torah and the setup of it has been computers. Because the only reason why computers are a success and everything is being trusted to them, from the running of the traffic lights, from the running of our finances, from the running of the records of our health, all of that is being trusted to the computer. And even now, the running of the cloud system, this cloud system that you and I happen to be, where we can gather, to have this conversation, live and stuff like that. It's the cloud technology. The cloud technology being trusted to the care of the strong tower, the desktop tower. So the computer, to me, is majestic in that sense because it's following the pattern of the Torah. And so that's why it's trusted to run economies like that. And so people rely on that. And it's a big crime to go and mess up and try to hack a system, If something is hacked, you could get some white-collar crimes. You can get years in jail for that. So they don't want you to mess with that administration of the economy, of those programs. So even your cell phone is a little mini tower there, holding things and for the icons and the applications to be there, connecting to everything that has connected. So everything is a representation of the Aleph Beth. And so people trust and rely on those things that behave like that. So that's what I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to get you into the mindset of the Father so you be proud to display that connectedness of words is what it's all about. It is in the word that matters. The color of skin has nothing to do with instruction. You can be white, yellow, green, red, or whatever, but the skin is not going to instruct me. It's the words that are going to instruct me. Okay? So that's why I focus on word. I don't focus on anything that has to do. Anybody that tries to teach you that we're at a disadvantage because of the color of the skin, they just, that's just diversion for the wrong direction. It is the word that matters. And it's the word that we got to look into, because getting to the mindset of the Father has nothing to do with the color of our skin. It all has to do with the sacred tongue, okay? The Leshon Kadosh, the sacred tongue of the Hebrew, and understanding the meaning, so you can get to the real Father to begin with. So that's my sharing for today, and I'm sorry that I couldn't do it live, but at least I got to record it, so I'll be sharing this with you. So I want to close with a little of the commercial here for today. Let me use this one. I'll use this Story Monarch. Okay.